see what puppets are coming out. Molly and Johnny, let's see what's going on with them. Shh.
Give me back my cookie. Why is it your cookie? Because it was the last one and it was mine.
Who said it was your cookie?
Mama said I could have the last cookie.
Mama, that's all you can say. You're just a spoiled baby.
Am not.
Or so.
Am not.
Hey, wait a minute, guys. What is all this fuss?
Johnny says I'm a spoiled baby.
Well, she is.
Am not.
Whoa, now. What brought all this on?
Oh, she's just crying because I got the last cookie.
Mama said I could have it.
Yeah, that's because you are spoiled and Mama gives you everything you want.
Does not.
Just so.
Does not.
Alright, hold it, guys. Arguing is not going to help. Who was supposed to get that last cookie?
Me.
Well, you never did get it, and I didn't want to waste, so I got it.
Well, Johnny, it does sound like the cookie should be Molly's.
Oh, she is just a spoiled brat.
You are too.
She always gets what she wants.
Do not.
Do too.
All right, Molly and Johnny. I don't think either one of you are spoiled.
What does it mean to be spoiled?
It means to be Mama's pet and always get what you want.
Does not.
Does too. Don't spoil me to get everything you want.
Well, yes, Johnny is right about that.
Told ya.
But, Johnny, being selfish and mean to your sister is worse than being spoiled.
See there?
All right, you two. The Bible has a story about a boy who was spoiled. And he grew up to be a king, but not a very good one. So let's tell the story to these boys and girls, okay? So bye, Molly, and bye, Johnny.
Bye.
All right, well, here's our Bible story. So let's see about this spoiled person. In Daniel chapter 5, there is a story of King Belshazzar. And he was the king of Persia, which is what we call Iran and Iraq today. Well, Belshazzar was the son of King Nebuchadnezzar. And remember, he was the king who had the dream about the great tree that Daniel explained. And he was the king who had thrown Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into that fiery furnace. Well, King Nebuchadnezzar, he had gone on a trip, and he had left his son, King Belshazzar, in charge. And while Daddy was gone, Belshazzar thought he'd have a big party. King Belshazzar and all his friends were drinking wine when he had an idea.
Remember when my father, King Nebuchadnezzar, went to Jerusalem and brought back all those vessels of gold and silver from the house of God? Let us drink our wine out of them.
So they brought in these golden vessels that had been taken out of the house of God of Jerusalem, and the king and his lords and his wives and his friends, they all drank from them. They drank their wine and they praised not the true God, but their gods of gold and silver and bronze and iron and wood and stone. Well, while they were drinking, the fingers of a human hand appeared and wrote on the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king, he saw that hand as it wrote, and the king, he turned pale, and he was afraid, and his legs got weak, and his knees began to knock together, and the king called loudly, to bring in the wise men of Babylon, and he said,
"Whoever reads this writing and can explain what it means shall be given a royal robe of purple and a chain of gold around his neck, and shall be the ruler of the kingdom."
Well, all the king's wise men, there they are, they came in, but they could not read that writing or make known to the king even the meaning of the writing. And then King Belshazzar was even more afraid, and he turned pale and was about to faint. Finally, the queen heard what was happening, and she came into the banqueting hall, and the queen declared,
"Oh, King Belshazzar, live forever. Don't be afraid. There's a man in your kingdom in whom the spirit of the holy gods, your father, found him to be a man of understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods. And King Nebuchadnezzar, your father, made him chief of all the wise men. His name is Daniel. He is very wise and can interpret dreams, explain riddles, and solve problems. Now let Daniel be called, and he will show you what the writing means."
Then Daniel, he was brought in before this king, and the king said to Daniel,
"So, you are that Daniel, the one of the exiles from Judah, who the king, my father, brought from Judah. I've heard that you are full of the Spirit, and the gods are in you, and the light and the understanding and excellent wisdom are all found in you. Now, all the wise men of the kingdom have been brought before me to read this writing and explain what it means, but no one knows what it means. I have heard that you can tell me. Now, if you can read the writing and explain the message, you shall be clothed with the royal robe of purple, have chains of gold around your neck, and you will be the third ruler in the kingdom."
Well, then Daniel answered, and then he said to the king,
"O king, just keep all them gifts for yourself and give your presents to others. I'll read that writing on the wall for you, King Belshazzar, and explain what the words mean. First, remember this, O King Belshazzar. It was the Most High God who made you your father, Nebuchadnezzar, the king, and gave him that greatness and that glory and that majesty. And because of that greatness that God gave him, the whole world feared him, and he was king, and he could do anything he wanted. But when King Nebuchadnezzar's heart was lifted up in pride, God brought him down, way down, from his kingly throne, and his glory was taken from him. And he became like a barking dog, and he lived with them wild donkeys, ate grass like a cow, until he finally humbled himself and admitted that it was the Most High God who rules the kingdoms of men and chooses who is king. And you, his son Belshazzar, you've messed up. You've not humbled your heart, though you knew all about this, but you've lifted yourself up in pride against the Lord of heaven. And you've mocked the Most High God by drinking from the vessels that were stolen from God's house at Jerusalem. You praised your gods of silver and gold and bronze and iron, wood and stone, which can't see, they can't hear, they can't know. But the Most High God, who lets you live and breathe, you've not honored. So, King Belshazzar, God sent you a message, and he wrote it on the wall. And that message God sent is this: many, many, tekel, farsa. And this is what it means. Many, God's numbered the days of your kingdom and brought it to an end. Your time's up, buddy. Tekel, you've been weighed in the balances and found wanting. You come up short. And Perez, your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. You will no longer be the king. You got that?
Well, then King Belshazzar commanded, and Daniel was given a royal robe of purple, a chain of gold around his neck, and a proclamation was made about him that he should be the third ruler of the kingdom. But that very night, Just outside the castle walls was the army of Darius the Mede, and the army entered the castle and they killed King Belshazzar. And God took away the kingdom from King Belshazzar, and he gave it to another king, King Darius the Mede, who became king over all the kingdom. And why? Because King Belshazzar forgot who was the